Day 5 of Karen Read's trial was short, but my day of lawyering was long, so I know this is a little bit delayed, but here is your recap for the day. Hi, my name is Sydney Rushing. I'm a criminal defense attorney in the state of Michigan. Now let's talk about it. As we knew that there was only going to be a half day of witness testimony today because this afternoon was dedicated to Voir Dire of the ARCCA Experts. We only had one witness on the stand today. That was witness number 11 for the prosecution, which was Ian Whiffin, and he's from Cellebrite, and he's a digital forensics examiner. He also testified in the first trial. He examined data from both Jennifer McCabe, or also known as Jen McCabe, which this trial they have been calling her Jennifer, as well as John O'Keefe's phones. Something that's important to note here is that he never physically received the cell phones themselves. He only received the downloaded data. Brennan started out asking him the questions about the search that Jen McCabe made regarding how long does it take to die in the cold. Thankfully, Whiffin used a PowerPoint to kind of show how he came to his conclusion and how these data searches work and how they look. And I think that this was very effective for showing the jury on how he reached his conclusion of when the Google search actually happened. He testified that while a Safari page was opened at 2:27, a lot of the searches dealt with sports pages and bank pages. But the search regarding how long it takes to die in the cold, and it was two different misspelled versions, actually happened at 6:23 a.m. and 6:24 a.m. But the search itself actually never fully loaded, and that also gives me a question as to, did they cancel the search because they're like, wait, we probably shouldn't search this because hello, and then nothing happened again until 10:33 when the page was reopened and it opened up to that search. In regards to the search data that was deleted from Jen's phone, he said he doesn't believe that she was the one that did it. However, he believes it was a system event that caused it to happen. And that's very interesting because, again, remember, he's not the one who received the cell phones and downloaded the data. He just received the data in the form that they provided it to him. Doom, 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 doom. Just kidding. Then he started talking about John's phone and the data on that. And he said he basically searched from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. and he used the location data as well as his health data to come to his conclusions. He did say that it showed movement throughout the night. And then he walked through the location of John's phone starting at 12:12 a.m. where he was located at Washington Street. And then at 12:19, he had opened the Waze app. And then, they were driving and they actually went by Fairview Road and turned around and came back. And they ultimately got there at 12:24 a.m. He said that John's phone remained in the front yard area and near a flagpole. And at 12:38, he basically said it didn't move from that location. He said that the Apple Health data showed that he stopped around the flagpole around 12:32 a.m. and then didn't move again until 6:04 a.m. when he was found. He then talked about the temperature of the phone. He said that it started off at 77 degrees basically when they were in the car. And then about 12 minutes after they had stopped on Fairview Road, it dropped to 72 degrees. He said it hit 50 degrees around 1:36 in the morning. And the next entry was at 6:14 a.m. when it was 37 degrees. His opinion is that John didn't go into the residence and actually never really left the flagpole area, unless he came in and did the cross. He started by pointing out that there was issues with the data and that the data wasn't labeled or that it was mislabeled in areas. He had him discuss the text messages between Brian Higgins and Jen McCabe, basically asking John if he was coming over, and they were a few minutes apart. I think it was 12:20 a.m. and 12:23, 12:24 a.m. He was also asked if someone other than John could have opened up the phone. During cross-examination, Judge Cannoni pulled a Judge Cannoni, stopped the questioning, and basically sent the jury home for the day because, as we know, she was on a tight schedule today. Now, to make sure that things stay clear, I'm going to stop the video in this update in regards to the witnesses now, and I'm going to make a separate video about the ARCCA experts and their voir dire and their questioning that happened in the afternoon in a separate video. So that's all I have for you on today's recap of day 5. The defense will continue the cross-examination tomorrow morning. So thanks for following along, and we'll be back here tomorrow with another update and potentially a live screening during the day. Question of the day is, as a juror, if you were a juror on this case, do you think it was beneficial that they used the PowerPoint presentation to kind of show how things were broke down? Or would you have rather just heard it out of his mouth and not seen it? Me personally, I think the PowerPoint presentation was extremely helpful in showing it because I'm a visual learner.